live?
Yeah, we live.
Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Big Star, 2 Raw for the Streets alumni, class of 98. You know, the one who created the blueprints of the movement.
Yes,
Here with my
sir.
man Luke, Minnesota Luke. Listen, this cat came and found me, man. This cat's all about his hip hop. Cat's been looking for Big Star for years on some Where's Waldo. This cat came and found me. That means he is about his hip hop. He's all about his history. Battle rap history, man. He came and found someone that they call a legend. I don't know about that, but that's the people.
2 Raw's legendary, man. 2 Raw's legendary.
No
Shout
doubt.
out Big Star.
You already know. You already know.
And on to number 6. Number 6 is Killaz Battle League. Killaz Battle League was started by DJ Vlad, and DJ Vlad, for those of you who know, is a hip-hop media figure. Vlad TV does a lot of interviews, they do a lot of media-based stuff, and you know, he's been in the game for quite a while. But more hip-hop in general focused opposed to just battle focused. In early 2013, there were a lot of rumors that DJ Vlad was going to come out with a league of his own. And finally, in April 2013, an official card was released for his league. The actual event happened on May 11, 2013. It featured Trex vs. Math rematch, and it featured Bigg vs. Shotgun Suge and Iron Sheik vs. Handz. The cost for general admission of the event was $30. Everything about the Killaz Battle League first and only event was kind of lackluster. Trex vs. Math Hoffa was supposed to be really like one of the best rematches of all time. The first battle was so great, you just expected that for the second. But honestly, a lot of people don't even remember it happened. That's how, lackluster it was. Shotgun Suge choked a whole bunch, and Bigg kind of had a good performance, but it wasn't, it wasn't crazy. There were supposed to be auditions and other events that were coming up with Killaz Battle League afterwards, but they never really took form and the league just kind of disappeared. Although Vlad TV still kind of maintains an active presence in the battle rap scene, but only through media purposes. Alright, and next up we have Rap Battle Network.
You listening? You see the way I write, my friend? I'm right, my friend. This life I'm in, your life gon' end. Your wife I sin, half of the shells flying everywhere. It looked like Sonic fell on the spike again.
Rap Battle Network was a subscription-based service. It was basically you would pay a certain amount per month, and in return, Rap Battle Network would give you a couple battles a month. There were a couple problems with that, and the big thing, and I've gone over this actually in other blogs, is that they believed that a significant amount of battle rap fans would pay for battles. And as we know, that is not necessarily always true. And definitely in this case, it was not. Another huge issue for Rap Battle Network was that 70% of their audience used mobile devices as the primary way to watch battles. But there was a huge catch that really hurt Rap Battle Network, and that was that mobile devices were not supported for subscription-based services. Anyways, they had their first event. It was called Barfest, which is kind of a ridiculous name for a battle event, but it happened in June 2013. It had Math Hoffa vs. Daylyt, it had John the Don vs. Shotgun Suge, it had J Pro vs. Sid Vicious, and it had Bigg vs. Real Deal. The environment of the battle was extremely kind of generic and dry, and the crowd seemed to be completely dead, although the battles were okay. Rap Battle Network 2 had plans to kind of do things afterwards, but plans just kind of fell through. They never formulated into anything, and they kind of just disappeared. And next up we have Time is Money.
They said T-Rex a legend. I said how? They said he a boss, man. I said show me proof. They said he beat J Mills and Loaded Lux, but the footage never came out. I said, oh man. But ever since you been on Smack, you've been whack and you lost damn. So your career's like Votto, cause your biggest highlights are off cam.
Licks, who is from Long Island, he put on an event in January 2011, so more towards the early days of YouTube battle rap. The main events were supposed to be DNA vs. Trex.
I got a battle coming up. What's his name? Do not answer. What's the dude name? What's his name? Is
DNA.
DNA. Oh yeah, DNA. Yeah. With the young boy, with the rookie, man. I guess shit kind of really like a chair. It's like a charity event. I can't even say that. I'm gonna say that. It's like a wheelchair classic.
Rich Dollars vs. Tech 9.
Oh, you rich dollar no name niggas. That's what we gonna call it. Now I'm not gonna these frauds. I'm just. When they say fraud, it should be Rich Dollars next to the name fraud. Fuck that.
And Shotgun Suge vs. T Moneybags.
You already know Moneybags, I'm my family, man. Got the Shotgun Suge, I fuck with 400 niggas score money and all that. Niggas gonna get crazy, man.
Only DNA versus Trex happened, and it was only one round, but it was a really good battle. DNA versus Arsonal was supposed to happen in later 2011, but that never went down. And a lot of other things with this league were supposed to happen and just really kind of fell through. Years later, they returned. Shotgun Suge vs. Goods happened on March 2013. It was released for 2 months, and then it was taken down on YouTube, and I'm not really sure the reason. Luckily, someone had downloaded the battle and was able to put it back on YouTube, so we still have it on YouTube, but it is not the original copy. Poking fun at themselves, Time Is Money said on Twitter that they are the greatest one-hit wonder in battle rap history. On to lab battles.
This motherfucker is not hard. All he did was come with a bunch of fucking whack-asses slum bars. Talk about Muhammad the Baba Akbar, but your fucking hat's the only time you'll ever be a rock star.
Lab Battle's first official event, Street Rider, happened on February 20th, 2011 in Manchester, England. Lab Battles was a league that was largely backed by Shadi Hora, who before that time had not battled on camera but was well known in the Manchester grime scene. He had also worked with, by this point, names like Crooked Eye and Royce the 5'9", so he definitely was not a nobody. They ended up having a few events with battles such as Shadi Hora vs. Disaster, Awkwards and Disaster vs. Archaic and O'Shea, Shadi Hora vs. O'Shea, Flexplicit vs. Immaculate, Lopeshi and Osa vs. Briggsy and Innuendo, and Respect BA vs. Immaculate, among other battles. A few dropped on their channel. Respect BA vs. Immaculate dropped on Don't Flop. Awkwards and Disaster vs. Archaic and O'Shea was dropped in Grind Time. The Lopeshi and Osa battle was damaged and kinda had a big delay in its release. The league had some issues. There was footage problems with a lot of the battles and audio problems. Also, there were rumors that the people who were behind the league were having personal issues in their lives. Several of the battles were set to private for quite a while, and other things like that. Despite having several events and several battles, this league started and ended within the same year, 2011, and like the others, has not been heard from since. And on to Strictly Bars.
Is that an AK? Good. You got two choices. You can get shot, or these niggas will stomp him till he dead. He try us to getting wired like he talking to the feds. They bang blue. That's why these niggas flocking him in red. Just check his hat. He used to having a chopper to his head.
Strictly Bars was a Detroit-based battle rap league. They had one and only event, DOA, on May 5th in 2013. The card was Calicoe vs. Daylyt, JC vs. Red, QP vs. Young Cannon, X Factor vs. John the Don, Midwest Miles vs. Bones Brigante, and Ill Will vs. Rosenberg Raw. All of these happened except for Ill Will vs. Rosenberg Raw. The Daylyt battle was extremely important as it was when Daylyt was really starting his come up. Only months before this, his big breakout performance versus Rich Dollaz happened. So to go to Detroit and battle a fan favorite in Detroit was a huge deal for his career. However, right before the event, Daylyt trolled and said that him and Calicoe was not happening. Of course it did. The pay-per-view was $10 and it was an okay stream. It was kind of crazy. $10, all these names, and the stream was like decent. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. And also for the time, it was live, which a lot of battle events were not doing live streams at this time. Just like others on this list, however, they have not been heard from since. And next up we have Gladiator School.
You be yelling out that BMF shit when I got BMF niggas in St. Louis too, Cal. Now what? You see Cal whole style? Tough guy, gang shit. Well, look into the eyes of a nigga who want the same shit.
I want to preface this by saying Gladiator School is not necessarily a short-lived league. It may very well be continuing, and we're really not sure at this point. So I'm kind of just adding this one in as a bonus one. But like I said, they totally could be coming back. They have not been gone that long. In September 2014, during the BET Hip Hop Awards weekend, Snoop Dogg, in conjunction with Murda Mook, put on an event. The event featured Trex vs. Nitty, Calicoe vs. Hitman Holla, John the Don vs. Arsonal, Offcial vs. E Hart, Young B the Future vs. B Magic, Miss Murk vs. Chyna Ashley, and Carter Deems vs. Marwasha. The event had a $25 general admission, so for that card, that's a crazy good deal. They also had Daylyt vs. Sue Surf in front of a green screen that was recorded a few days prior. The battles were not released on YouTube except for a couple leaks and snippets that they put out. Instead, they were released on trapflix.com. The Daylyt vs. Sue Surf green screen battle was not very well received by fans. There was kind of a general agreement that it had gone overboard and it just did not look good, and it borderlined on corny. The battles from the event other than this one were really good though. Hitman Holla vs. Calicoe was absolutely crazy. John the Don vs. Arsonal was a quality battle. And Young B the Future had a really surprise performance versus B Magic and beat him. Murda Mook, who is a huge part of battle rap, was involved, so that was a huge plus, and it made the event, I feel, run better. Also, OD from A-Hat was a big part of the event as well as Direct and several other individuals involved in battle rap. And these were very positive things because if you note, you'll know that a lot of these really big events backed by celebrities and backed by big people really leave out a lot of the mainstream people, and that kind of leads to it failing. So yeah, the lack of a top-down approach for this really helped the event go smoothly. OD of A-Hat mentioned that Snoop Dogg really embraced the battle culture and was really easy to work with. In conjunction with A-Hat in April 2015, they had a private event called Take Flight on Site, and it featured names such as Active, Danny Myers, Cali Boy Smooth, and Billy Boondocks. Snoop Dogg said that basically, the show gives these MCs an opportunity to actually become gladiators and make it to the Gladiator School. However, since then, there's no new news on this, and really they only did the first round of it. So I'm not really sure where this all stands. So yeah, like I said, I'm not really 100% to call it a short-lived league, because the last thing that they did happened in April 2015, which is only a little bit over a year ago. Another thing you might not know about Penn is that he's a voice actor. And actually, if you ever play Grand Theft Auto, you probably heard his voice once or twice.
That's tight, bro. Can you please take us back to the Majestic now?
Math Hoffa and Disaster have had an extremely long, extremely complicated, and extremely interesting relationship. For years, they went back and forth on Twitter and interviews going in at one another.